What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a Shudder original. It's a found footage movie called Deadstream, and it was pretty cool. Let's check it out. So far, Voidtober is pretty fun. I'm having a blast, and this movie might be one of the extra fun bits in it, so let me tell you about it. So I didn't know much about this movie at all. I watched the trailer, and it looked fun. It looked like one of those movies that was going to be like a comedy that turned really sour really quick, because it's essentially a story. It's a found footage movie about a influencer named Sean, the Wrath of Sean, which is the name of his show. He's an influencer that got into a lot of trouble, causing a lot of problems, and he got kicked off of the live vid or livid. It's like a YouTube type website that he belonged to, and he had to do an apology video and a comeback tour. And part of his comeback tour is actually going to a haunted house and filming himself by himself in this entire house with all the cameras all over the place and all the works. And he does all of this, of course, live, which is even more fun. That, of course, is today's big thing. Is a lot of people like to do live streams of these haunted locations, but a lot of them are in locations that don't really have internet. And this kind of seems like one of those places, but for the sake of just making it entertaining, he's able to go live. And he takes the viewers through hell. Now, I didn't know that this was technically a comedy horror found footage movie right off the bat. You start to figure it out pretty quick. And I thought maybe that it was going to be like this comedy at first, and then like all of a sudden it goes really serious, like very quick, which I don't think would have been a bad idea, but this is very much a comedy found footage horror movie, which I can't say there's that many of, and Dashcam was like a comedy found footage horror movie in a way, but this is a little bit more of like a, I don't know, instead of Ash versus the Evil Dead version of found footage, it's like Shaun versus the Evil Dead found footage, if that makes sense. The comedy is very, very over the top. And some of the creature effects and everything that they use in this movie, it is akin to something you would buy at like a Halloween like yard sale. But it's actually kind of works, and I kind of like it because it just kind of works. Necessity is the mother of invention, and if you can make a horror movie work with it and the tone of the movie work with the props and the things that you use with it, I see nothing wrong with it. Plus, it's just creative and clever in this movie. Now, this was at South by Southwest, and apparently a lot of people really enjoyed it. There's actually quite a few different scores on there. I was a little unsure while I was watching it, but then there was a couple of times where I just busted out loud. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh God, influencer does YouTube sort of thing and wants to go live. First of all, yeah, it's supposed to be a little on the nose when it comes to influencer kind of trying to impress his fans and like going above and beyond and sort of, taking the piss out of the situation a little bit because he's an influencer. And yes, the character who Joseph Winters, which is one of the directors, plays in this movie is pretty on the nose, I think, for somebody who's really trying very hard to be a great influencer above and beyond. Now, this is a movie that is a team of directors and writers that is, it seems like, I don't know if they're related. I'm assuming they're married, but it is directors and writers Joseph and Vanessa Winter, which they are going to be working on a segment in the new VHS 99, which is going to be on Shudder as well, in a segment called To Hell and Back, which seems appropriate. And Vanessa actually has a little bit more of the experience. She's actually done a feature film on TV called Devil's Got My Back, and also worked on several episodes of a show called Studio C. I've seen neither, but what I saw here in this movie, I thought was pretty fantastic. It's going to be a little hard to swallow for some people, I think, at first. And I think once you just get into the vibe of it, once you like the first third of the movie, you'll kind of get the picture early on. The humor is a little out there, and it is very much in the tongue-in-cheek, Three Stooges-esque Evil Dead Sam Raimi style. It very much is trying to do that, only it's really ingenious. There are some really cool, very creative ways ways that they do some camera work in this, which I find a lot of found footage often does, you know, if they're really trying. There are some very cool ways that they use the cameras. They put them all over the house. They're on him. They're on other things. And they even use it to make gags in the movie, which is just fantastic. I love that. Is it the funniest thing I've ever seen? No. But it is pretty unique and fun. And that's really what this movie is about. It's about having fun, trying to be somewhat graphic and disturbing while also being really funny, obviously in a way, probably like an homage to Evil Dead in a lot of ways. It is a haunted house. There is a lot of haunted activities going on that are very physical. And, you know, in some spots, I actually was a little creeped out. So it still has some of that element in there. And I think this is probably a perfect movie for Halloween this year. Like, seriously, it is one of the better films I've seen this year. You know, we're not talking about like a big $27 million budget for the movie. This is just really ingenious, working within your means and doing a good job by writing something that is unique and funny while not being the funniest thing I've ever seen either. It's just a fun movie. My first gut feeling was to say 7.5, but I would really like to give this movie an 8 out of 10 because it's really just fun and I would love to watch this again. I haven't really seen too many movies like this in the found footage genre. That's kind of awesome in a way. And I wonder if we'll be seeing a lot more like this. I wonder if the To Hell and Back segment that they both did for VHS 99 is going to be silly as well. Either way, it's just a fun movie, and I think everybody should check it out to see for themselves. Yeah, you might be a little irritated with the influencers sort of being over the top and overly trying to impress everybody. I think Joseph did a really good job as playing this character, Sean, and kind of had the right balance of what you needed for this movie, because it's just there's just some ridiculous shit in this movie that you just can't take seriously, but he played it really well. And the other actors that are in this movie played it really well. There's some really cool like scares in it too in a way, but just it's like watching this influencer versus the Evil Dead, and that's the best way I can explain it. So I say go check it out. If you have Shudder, definitely give it a whirl. And why would you not be subscribed to Shudder during Halloween anyway, and for Voidtober? Because we're going to be covering a lot of movies on Shudder, obviously, this whole month. But yes, thank you guys so much for coming by. And that's my thoughts, my opinions on it. I think it's a fun movie. I would love to pick it up for myself, and probably will. This could be on the list for the end of the year. I don't know where it's going to fit, but it could be. So thanks for coming by, guys. And as always, long live the void.